My name is Camille Arden Price. I'm 28 years old. 3 weeks ago, my boyfriend stood in our kitchen and told me he needed space to find himself, and I honestly thought it was about him having an early life crisis, not about him sprinting back into the arms of his married ex-girlfriend. Noah and I had been together for 2 years, living together for 8 months. Things weren't perfect because nothing is, but they were good. We'd just booked flights to spend Christmas with my parents. We'd been talking about maybe moving to a bigger place next year, maybe getting a dog. We were in that we phase where you start saying we more than I without even noticing. So when he sat down at the dining table, rubbing the back of his neck like he was about to confess to a crime, I had no idea what was coming. "I'm not breaking up with you," he said, which is exactly what someone who is about to destroy your relationship says. I need some space to figure out what I want. I feel like I've lost myself a little. I was thinking I might stay at Adrian's for a few weeks. No contact would probably be best while I sort through my feelings. No contact. Like we were a caffeine addiction he needed to detox from. It hurt. It felt like the floor shifted 2 inches to the left and no one warned me. But I loved him. And because I loved him, I did the stupid, honorable thing. I respected it. I didn't scream. I didn't demand answers. I didn't beg. I hugged him, told him I understood, and helped him pack a couple of duffel bags. He left his laptop and iPad on his desk because it's still your home too, and I won't take everything. Right. How generous. A week passed. I stuck to the rules like an idiot. No calls, no texts, no unannounced drive-bys to Adrian's. I got up, went to work, went to the gym, tried not to fall apart when I walked past his side of the bed and saw the empty indentation where he used to drop his phone every night. Then my friend Sarah texted me in the middle of a Tuesday, 3 words that made my heart drop. "Seen Noah's story?" I opened Instagram with my stomach already in my throat. There he was on my screen, tan lines, sunglasses, a drink in hand, at a beach resort I definitely hadn't been invited to. The caption said, "Sometimes you just need your guys. Self-care trip, finding myself." Behind him were palm trees and a sparkling ocean. Beside him, in one shot, were 3 other guys I recognized, Adrian and 2 of their mutual friends. My jaw tightened. I wanted to be mature. I wanted to be the kind of woman who could shrug and say, "Fine, he's getting his head together with his friends." But then I saw it. In one of the group shots, they were all crowded around a high-top table at a beach bar, holding brightly colored drinks. The lighting was sunset soft, golden. At the very edge of the frame, barely visible, was an arm, a woman's arm, bare and tanned, resting on Noah's shoulder. And along that arm, in sharp, unmistakable detail, was a sleeve of tattoos. I knew that tattoo. I had seen it before in old photos, the ones Noah kept buried deep in his phone and said were from another life. It was Lila's arm. Lila, the college ex he swore he was done with. The one who cheated on him and taught him what he would never tolerate again. The one he had described as toxic, dramatic, and definitely not someone he had any feelings for anymore. My first instinct, rage. Hot, immediate, wildfire rage. Second instinct, devastation, this hollow collapse inside my chest. Third instinct, a sharper, more useful instinct, suspicion. We'd been sharing a cloud storage plan for months because he'd run out of space and asked if I could add him to mine. He'd set it up, given me access to shared albums, dumped half his photo library into our joint little digital universe, and then apparently forgotten about it. I'd never had a reason to look before. I had a reason now. My hands were shaking as I logged into the shared photo stream on my laptop. It took about 3 clicks, and then there they were, the uncropped versions. In every single one, Lila was not some ambiguous arm at the edge of the frame. She was front and center, pressed up against Noah's side, smiling at the camera, while his hand rested comfortably on her hip. One shot of them lying on a beach towel together. One with his lips on her cheek at sunset. One clearly taken by Adrian's girlfriend, with Noah and Lila framed perfectly in the middle of the image, the ocean behind them, and the caption, "These two," scrawled over it in loopy handwriting in the corner. The guys' trip was 2 couples, plus a chaperone excuse. My breath came shallow, fast. I clicked into the info pane out of habit. It's a designer thing. I always check details. The metadata hit me like another betrayal. These photos had started uploading to the cloud the day before Noah asked me for space. He didn't stumble into old feelings on a trip he booked after his epiphany. He planned the entire thing and then rehearsed his "I need to find myself" speech like he was applying for a grant. I screenshotted everything, every photo, every timestamp, every kiss, every arm around every shoulder. There was a moment where I just sat there, staring at the screen, shaking so hard I could barely keep my fingers steady on the trackpad. I could have confronted him privately. I could have waited until he got back, shoved the laptop in his face, screamed until my throat gave out. But all I could see in my mind was that tattooed arm, all over him, while I sat here in our apartment trying not to text him because I was respecting his boundaries, respecting his lie. So instead I went quiet, strategic. I went back to his public Instagram, opened the beach shot he'd posted with his carefully cropped self-care narrative, and typed 2 simple words in the comments. "Great picture." I hit post. It took him 11 minutes to break his own rules. My phone buzzed. A text from Noah. "Thanks, babe. Miss you." Babe, miss you. With his ex's lipstick still probably smeared on his neck. That was the moment my heartbreak tipped into fury. Because there was one more detail about Lila that mattered. She wasn't just his ex. She was married. She had been for about a year. Her husband, Ethan, was a soft-spoken, kind-looking guy who posted videos building birdhouses and reading silly children's books on his social media. It took me 5 minutes to find his profile. 5 minutes to type out a message and attach every unedited photo and their glorious metadata. "Hi, Ethan. You don't know me, but I think you deserve to see these from your wife's current conference. Take care of yourself." Then I hit send, and I waited. Dawn hadn't even fully broken before the world began to burn. Ethan received my message at 8:03 p.m. the night before. I know this because at 8:15 p.m., his Facebook relationship status vanished. At 8:27 p.m., his TikTok posted a new video. And by 8:32 p.m., my phone was vibrating across my nightstand like it was trying to flee the apartment. I blinked awake, groggy and confused, until Sarah texted me a single screenshot followed by, "Holy hell, Camille, check this." Ethan's TikTok had gone viral overnight. The cover image alone made my mouth go dry. It was one of the photos I sent him. Noah and Lila on the beach, his arm around her waist, her face turned up toward him with a smile that looked like someone had photoshopped betrayal into human form. Ethan's caption read, "When your wife's work conference is actually a vacation with her ex, Part 1. Part 1. The video was a montage. First the photos, then the metadata timestamps, then Ethan's wedding picture with Lila dissolving into a slow zoom of Noah and Lila's sunset kiss. The comments were brutal and creative. The internet is a strange, ruthless poet when it wants to be. Not the kindergarten teacher's husband being the one teaching lessons. The way he kept the receipts organized by timestamp. King behavior. Somebody check on the blonde guy in the photos. His girlfriend is about to find out too. That last one hit like a punch to the sternum. Because the blonde guy was Noah. Which made me the girlfriend. The one the internet was already hunting for. Part 2 dropped an hour later. Ethan posted doorbell footage from his Ring camera showing Lila rolling a suitcase out the door the morning she'd left for the conference. Ethan's voice in the background said, "Love you, babe. Text me when you land." Lila kissed him on the cheek before walking out. There was something horrifyingly gentle about the gesture. Intimate, familiar, routine, and all a complete lie. Part 3 was screenshots of their credit card statement showing charges at the exact resort where Noah was staying. Ethan hadn't slept. He'd been digging all night. The comment section had become a digital mosh pit. People were screen recording, stitching, duetting, analyzing every frame like it was the Zapruder film. By the time I made myself coffee, Noah posted a new beach photo, and then the universe delivered its masterpiece. He wrote, "Paradise with my person." My person. I stared at the caption so long it blurred. Then I reread it. Again. And in the photo, finally unfiltered, Lila was fully visible at his side, hand on his chest, smiling like she'd found salvation in infidelity. The comments came instantly. "Your person? Babe, Ethan has entered the chat." "Sir, check TikTok." "She needs space, Pla, you need sense." This aged like raw chicken. Within minutes, the post was deleted. Then Noah's Instagram went private, then dark entirely. And then the calls started. 16 missed calls from Noah, 12 from Adrian, 8 from random numbers. Voicemails poured in. The first one was Noah, his voice high and sharp with panic. Camille, please, call me back. What did you do? The fifth was angrier. This is so messed up, Camille. You had no right to drag her husband into this. You're ruining lives. The 10th was desperation wrapped in hypocrisy. Please, it's not what it looks like. We need to talk. I nearly laughed, out loud, in my empty kitchen. It was exactly what it looked like. And it got worse, spectacularly worse. Because Ethan posted part 4. Footage of him standing at the airport baggage claim, holding a manila envelope. Lila appeared moments later, suitcase trailing behind her like guilt on wheels. Her eyes widened when she saw him. Ethan held out the envelope calmly. Divorce papers. Someone in the background gasped. Ethan didn't raise his voice. He didn't cry. He simply handed her the documents, turned, and walked away. The audio was crystal clear. Lila whispered, "Please don't do this." Ethan replied, "You already did." The video hit 10 million views in under 3 hours. My phone buzzed again. Adrian, calling from Noah's phone this time. I answered. "Camille," Adrian barked. "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Morning to you too," I said dryly. "You blew up everything. You had no right contacting Ethan. You destroyed Noah's relationship." "I destroyed nothing," I said. "I just hand-delivered the truth to the person who deserved to know it. You had no business. She's my boyfriend's ex. She's your best friend. She's a married woman who lied to her husband, who lied to me, who lied to her entire online presence. This is not a gray area." "You've ruined her life," he snapped. "No," I said, voice steady and ice cold. "She ruined her own life. I just turned on the lights." He hung up on me. I didn't mind, because then something I absolutely did not expect happened. Noah's mother called me. Patricia had always loved me. She'd knitted me scarves for Christmas, brought me soup when I was sick, sent me long text messages full of heart emojis for my birthday. When I answered, she was crying. "Camille," she said, voice trembling. "Honey, I'm so sorry. I had no idea." I blinked. "About what?" "She told me she was going on a work retreat. She lied to me too. I raised my son better than this. And I'm mortified he and that girl did this to you. Are you all right? Do you need anything?" Something in my chest cracked, but not painfully. It cracked open. "I'm okay," I said softly. "Thank you." "For what it's worth," she said, "you did the right thing. Ethan deserved the truth, and so did you." I swallowed hard. "Thank you, Patricia." After we hung up, I sat at my kitchen table staring at my phone, watching millions of strangers tear apart the lives of two people who truly deserved it. And for the first time since Noah's "I need space" speech, I felt something warm bloom inside me. Not joy, not revenge, not vindication. Something stronger. Power. Because now the truth wasn't just out. It was everywhere. And Noah had no idea just how much more was coming. By the time Noah's plane landed the next morning, the internet had already shredded him into confetti. There were reaction videos, meme threads, an hour-long YouTube commentary titled "The Space Needed Was Between Their Morals," and at least 5 dramatic reenactments on TikTok performed by teenagers with uncanny comedic timing. And then there was the documentary. Someone compiled the entire saga into a 45-minute digital expose called The Sunset Beach Betrayal, a timeline nobody asked for. It had over 2 million views by sunrise. I wasn't tagged in any of it, thank God, but Noah sure was. His name, his face, his Instagram wedding filter soft launch of Lila's return, everything. No one even bothered hiding his identity. The internet hates cheaters more than almost anything, and it hates liars even more. At around 7 a.m., a frantic pounding rattled my apartment door. I didn't need to guess who it was. I grabbed my coffee, opened the door, and found Noah standing there. Unshaven, sunburned, and looking like he'd aged 10 years overnight. He still had his luggage with him, as if he thought I'd let him inside to talk. He lifted his hand like he wanted to touch my arm. I stepped back before he could. "Camille, please. No." My voice wasn't angry. It was calm, which honestly scared him more. "Please," he said again, voice cracking. "We need to talk." "No," I repeated. "You need to get your things, and you need to leave your key." He blinked at me, stunned by how unbothered I sounded. "This is still my home too," he said, trying to use the reasonable tone manipulators love. I've been paying rent. I raised my eyebrows. You paid rent twice. 2 months. After that, you forgot and I covered the rest. This is my lease, my home. You moved out when you left for your space. He ran a hand through his hair, agitated. Baby, listen, it wasn't what it looked like. That phrase should be retired, I said. It's what every cheater says right before confessing they cheated, exactly the way it looked. It wasn't cheating, he argued weakly. It was closure. Closure involves conversations, not tongue action in sunset photos. He winced. I was going to choose you, he said, lowering his voice like this was some kind of romantic confession. Lila and I had history. I just needed clarity. I needed to know if there were still feelings. While she's married? I asked. That's not clarity. That's cowardice. Her marriage was already having issues. Not your business, I snapped. And definitely not your romantic playground. He took a shaky breath. You going to her husband was a violation. Funny, I said. Because her marriage vows were the ones violated. I just passed along the evidence. He stared at me like I'd slapped him. Then came the twist he thought would work in his favor. You're ruining my life. Oh no, honey, I said. No, honey. You ruined your life. I just forwarded the receipts. His jaw clenched. I lost 2 clients because of this. HR pulled me off the Sable account. They said my online reputation is a risk. Play stupid games, I said. Win stupid consequences. He opened his mouth again, but I held up my hand. You have 1 hour. Pack your things. Leave the key. Then go. Where am I supposed to go? You found a beach resort on a moment's notice, I said. You'll figure it out. That was when he cracked. Like truly cracked. His face crumpled, and he whispered, Please don't do this. You did this, I replied quietly. All I'm doing is ending it. He stared at me, waiting for something, mercy, weakness, anything. Instead, I pointed to his suitcase. Clock's ticking. He finally moved, slowly, brokenly, and I felt nothing but relief. 30 minutes later, my phone buzzed with a Venmo request from him. Emotional damages, $2,000. His half of the furniture, $3,000. Vacation interruption costs, $1,500. Defamation compensation, $5,000. I declined them all, then blocked him. But the universe was not done serving consequences. Because an hour after Noah left with the last of his belongings, Adrian messaged me again, this time through LinkedIn since I'd blocked him everywhere else. You owe Noah an apology. He's staying with me, and he's devastated. He cries every night. You destroyed everything. A real woman would have fought for him. You're pathetic. I typed back. A real friend wouldn't have helped him cheat. Also, tell your boyfriend the truth. Enabling infidelity doesn't make you loyal. It makes you complicit. 10 minutes later, LinkedIn sent me a notification. Adrian reported your message for harassment. LinkedIn replied, We reviewed your message. No violation found. I snorted. Then the best notification of the day arrived. Noah's mother, Patricia, queen of accidental wisdom and cozy cardigans, sent me a Venmo payment for $500 titled, For the Rent Noah Owed You. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I returned it politely. She sent it again with a note, please, for my own peace of mind. So I donated the $500 to a nonprofit that provides therapy vouchers for victims of infidelity and sent her the receipt. Patricia liked the gesture. Meanwhile, the internet continued exploding. Ethan posted part 5 of his series, screenshots of Lila's texts begging him to talk in private, him responding with, You should have thought of that before boarding a plane with your ex. By the time part 6 went live, a montage of people stitching the saga with reactions like, This is better than reality TV. Everyone was searching for Noah's account like treasure hunters looking for more drama. But Noah had gone dark. Completely. And yet, the consequences were just beginning. For 2 full months, the fallout of Noah's choices rolled through our city like a social media tsunami, dragging every person connected to him straight into the undertow. I watched the chaos from the safety of my couch, wrapped in a blanket, a bowl of popcorn in my lap, and a peace I hadn't felt in years, settling slowly into the cracks he'd left behind. The legal threats were first. I woke up one morning to an email from a law firm I'd never heard of. Attached was a letter demanding $50,000 for what Noah dramatically called intentional emotional harm and tortious interference with employment. His lawyer claimed that my actions had cost him clients, damaged his professional reputation, and caused him irreversible psychological distress. My cousin Ben, a real attorney, took one look and nearly choked laughing. His exact response, tell him to pound sand. So, I did, literally. I texted Noah a photo of a handful of sand on a beach with the message, retainer paid. Blocked him again. Meanwhile, the universe continued collecting karmic debt from Lila. Her marketing firm, the one that prided itself on ethical branding, dropped her like a hot coal. When your face becomes synonymous with the phrase viral cheating scandal, clients don't exactly line up. HR pulled her from campaigns, then the firm offered her 2 weeks severance if she resigned quietly. She took the deal. Her best friend Adrian, abandoned by her furious boyfriend once he realized she'd helped cover for the affair, fled back to Noah's side for comfort. Misery really does love company. One afternoon, Adrian tried reaching me through LinkedIn again. You ruined all of our lives, she wrote. Lila is crying every night. She lost her job, her reputation, everything. You should have handled this privately like an adult. I replied, I didn't ruin anything. I simply made sure the right husband knew his marriage was being used as a vacation theme. She blocked me. The ripple effects kept expanding. Bridget's divorce went nuclear in the most beautiful, legally sanctioned way. She won the house. She won the better car. She got alimony. And because their state factored infidelity into asset division, she got more than she'd expected. The evidence I had given her attorney was airtight. She sent me a thank you card shaped like a tiny courtroom gavel. But the moment everything came full circle was the day Noah returned for his laptop. I left it with the front desk, only to remember a horrifying truth. He'd logged into his email on my PlayStation months ago, and I'd never removed it. When I went to log him out, the message preview pane popped up. I didn't intend to read his mail. I genuinely wanted nothing to do with his digital life, but the subject line grabbed my eyes like a hook. Our little secret. It was from 6 months earlier. 6 months before the I need space speech. Before he asked for time to find himself, before he lied to my face, I tapped into the thread reluctantly, and there it was. Half a year of cheating, half a year of planning, half a year of lying every single day. Messages about meetups when he said he was at the gym, messages about beach trips while I thought he was working late, messages about girls' nights that I now knew never happened. At one point, he had even thanked Lila for being the only person who truly understands me. I took screenshots, not to post, not to expose, just so I could finally trust my instincts. Every time my gut told me something was wrong, and he gaslit me into thinking I was paranoid. I had been right. And then karma delivered its masterpiece. Bridget's divorce attorney subpoenaed Lila as a witness. She was legally required to testify about the timeline of the affair, her phone records, her emails, everything. Lila called me in a tear-filled panic. Camille, please, you have to help me. No, I don't. They're asking for my phone, my laptop, my messages. They want everything. That sounds like a you problem, I said. If you ever loved me, I never loved you, I said, and clearly you didn't love anyone. She hung up. Her mother, Patricia, was the only one who behaved with dignity throughout all of this. She Venmo'd me $500 with the note. For the rent she should have paid you. I'm so sorry. I sent it back. She sent it again, writing, please, you're the only innocent person in this mess. I finally donated it to a local nonprofit supporting women rebuilding after abusive relationships and cheating trauma. I sent Patricia the receipt. She replied with a heart. Meanwhile, Lila tried one last delusional pivot. She launched a podcast called Truth and Consequences, My Side of the Story, where she painted herself as a victim of a controlling partner and a vindictive ex-boyfriend. The internet destroyed every episode. The platform eventually removed it for violating guidelines against harassment. Noah tried to DM my new boyfriend Marcus after we'd been dating 2 months. Yes, I'm dating again. Marcus is funny, grounded, and stable. On our first date, he said, so you're the girl from the viral cheating saga. Good. Means you're already on board with the rule that cheating is a deal breaker. I knew instantly I liked him. Anyway, Noah's DM to Marcus said, you know your girlfriend is crazy, right? Marcus screenshotted it, posted it on his story with, actually, she's wonderful. You're still trash. He tagged Bridge. She reposted it with 4 crying, laughing emojis. Iconic energy. The final twist came 2 weeks ago. A number I didn't recognize texted me. This is Lila. I know you hate me. You have every right to. I just wanted you to know that I finally understand how badly I messed up. Noah left me the moment his divorce was final. I lost everything for someone who didn't even want me. I'm in therapy trying to figure out why I do these things. I'm sorry for everything. You deserved better. I stared at the message for a long minute, then I quietly deleted it. Not out of cruelty, but out of peace. Because by then, I no longer needed her apology. Everything that needed to burn had burned. Everything that needed to end had ended. Everything I needed to learn, I'd learned. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Never ignore your gut when it screams. Never let someone turn space into a weapon. And never, ever share a cloud account with someone you're dating. I'm living my life now, clean, honest, unbothered, and free. Drama-free too. Well, mostly. The internet will always be undefeated. But me, I'm finally done with this saga.